Relationship Synastry, case study, 3 husband and wife, Libra and Scorpio rising. In this case study, we explore the synastry between a husband with Libra rising and a wife with Scorpio rising. Both partners have the moon in Gemini, but with differing house placements, and their Venus placements offer insights into their romantic and relational approaches. We will analyze their emotional and romantic dynamics based on Vedic astrology principles. Husband's placements: moon in the 9th house, Gemini, Venus in the 12th house, Virgo. Wife's placements: moon in the 8th house, Gemini, Venus in the 2nd house, Sagittarius. Rising sign check. The husband has Libra rising, while the wife has Scorpio rising, which forms a 2-12 relationship between their rising signs. In synastry, this dynamic can be challenging. The 2-12 relationship typically suggests a sense of imbalance, where one partner may feel more dependent on the other or find it difficult to establish harmony. This could manifest as the Libra rising husband focusing on partnership, harmony, and balance, while the Scorpio rising wife may focus more on deep, transformative experiences, emotional control, and intensity. Libra rising individuals, like the husband, seek fairness, beauty, and balanced relationships. He is naturally diplomatic and values equality in relationships. Scorpio rising individuals, like the wife, have a more intense and transformative approach to life. She is emotionally deep and often seeks power and control within her relationships, which contrasts with the husband's need for peace and equilibrium. In this 2-12 dynamic, the husband may feel overwhelmed by the wife's intensity, while the wife may see the husband's focus on harmony as superficial or lacking depth. This dynamic will require both partners to consciously work on understanding each other's approaches to relationships and learn to balance the husband's need for fairness with the wife's need for emotional depth and control. Moon placement and emotional dynamics. Husband's moon in the 9th house in Gemini suggests a person who seeks emotional fulfillment through intellectual exploration, philosophy, and travel. The husband enjoys communicating and learning about new ideas, and his emotions are often tied to his quest for higher knowledge and intellectual stimulation. Wife's moon in the 8th house in Gemini highlights a deep, emotionally intense, and transformative emotional nature. The wife seeks depth in her emotions, and her emotional world is often intertwined with themes of power, secrets, and transformation. However, with the moon in Gemini, she also craves intellectual stimulation and communication, although her emotional nature is much more intense than the husband's. Synastry analysis of moon. Both partners have their moons in Gemini, which creates a strong intellectual connection and mutual understanding when it comes to communication. They both value intellectual stimulation and are likely to enjoy deep conversations and shared learning experiences. However, the difference in house placements introduces a complexity to their emotional dynamic. The husband's moon in the 9th house indicates that he finds emotional satisfaction through philosophical exploration and travel, while the wife's moon in the 8th house seeks emotional fulfillment through intensity and transformation. While both share a love for communication, the husband's need for intellectual expansion may feel too detached for the wife, who craves more emotional intensity and depth. The wife may feel that the husband avoids the deeper, more intense emotions she seeks to explore. Venus placement and romantic dynamics. Husband's Venus in the 12th house in Virgo indicates a person who may express love in a selfless, private, or even hidden way. Venus in the 12th house often signifies a tendency towards secret relationships or difficulty expressing romantic desires openly. In Virgo, this Venus placement suggests that the husband may be very critical of himself in love, seeking perfection and order in relationships, but struggling with self-doubt and insecurity. Wife's Venus in the 2nd house in Sagittarius reflects a more expansive, free-spirited, and adventurous approach to love. She seeks partners who value freedom, adventure, and intellectual growth, and she expresses love in a generous, open-hearted manner. The 2nd house placement suggests she values security in love, particularly through shared values and financial stability. Synastry analysis of Venus. The husband's Venus in Virgo and the wife's Venus in Sagittarius create a square aspect, which can be challenging. Virgo's cautious, practical, and detail-oriented approach to love contrasts sharply with Sagittarius's adventurous, spontaneous, and freedom-loving nature. The husband may approach love with reserve, focusing on service and small details, while the wife seeks grand gestures, freedom, and excitement in love. This contrast can create tension in their romantic relationship, as the husband may feel that the wife is too carefree or reckless in love, while the wife may find the husband overly critical or reserved. To create harmony, both partners will need to understand and respect their different approaches to love. The husband can bring grounding and care to the relationship, while the wife can introduce a sense of adventure and openness. Resulting dynamics of planetary placements. 1. Rising sign compatibility. The 2 to 12 relationship between Libra rising and Scorpio rising can create a sense of imbalance, where one partner may feel like they are giving more to the relationship. The husband's focus on harmony and balance may feel undermined by the wife's intensity and emotional depth, requiring conscious effort to balance these two different approaches to life and relationships. 2. Moon compatibility. Both partners having the moon in Gemini creates a strong intellectual connection, allowing for good communication and mental stimulation in the relationship. However, the wife's emotional intensity, moon in the 8th house, may feel overwhelming for the husband, who seeks a more philosophical and detached approach to emotions, moon in the 9th house. Understanding each other's emotional needs will be crucial for maintaining balance. 3. Venus compatibility. The square aspect between the husband's Venus in Virgo and the wife's Venus in Sagittarius suggests challenges in how they approach love and relationships. The husband's need for order, service, and selflessness contrasts with the wife's adventurous, free-spirited approach. Both partners will need to work on finding middle ground, where the husband can allow more spontaneity and the wife can appreciate the husband's more grounded approach to love. Emotional and romantic tensions. The wife's moon in the intense 8th house may clash with the husband's more philosophical and detached emotional approach. Similarly, the wife's expansive and adventurous Venus in Sagittarius may feel restricted by the husband's Venus in Virgo, which focuses on caution and reserve in love. Balancing these emotional and romantic tensions will require ongoing communication and mutual understanding. Overall relationship dynamic outcome. This relationship brings intellectual stimulation and a shared love of communication, but it will require effort to manage the differences in emotional depth and romantic expression. The Beta 212 rising sign relationship suggests some imbalance, where the husband may feel overwhelmed by the wife's intensity and emotional needs. However, their shared Gemini moon offers a point of connection through communication and intellectual exploration. The square aspect between their Venus placements introduces tension in their romantic relationship, as the husband's cautious and reserved approach may clash with the wife's adventurous and expansive nature. Both partners will need to work on understanding and respecting their differing love languages. With effort, this relationship can thrive by focusing on their shared intellectual interests and finding balance between emotional intensity and romantic freedom. The key will be maintaining open communication and respecting each other's emotional and romantic needs.